Welcome back to Wargamer Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, where we're going to just discuss War Machine forever, at least for now. Not forever, but like for a good long while.
Forever is a slight overstatement.
Forever today, until we don't.
Only slightly.
Only slightly. Whatever. Exaggerations, who cares? I'm Steve, the host/producer of the show. We've got...
I'm Bryce. I mostly just play Scorn.
I'm Mike. I say things and talk the words.
All right. For those of you that are new to the channel, you can catch us Monday through Thursday on YouTube with our various episodes. On Friday, we release the full episode both on YouTube and on soundcloud.com/WSUJ Gaiden, where you can just download it and it's awesome and the whole thing is there. However, for this week, it's going to be a little different because we have just so much content that I don't know how we're going to break it up yet. So no promises on week 4, 5. I don't know. Some week in the future. That'll be next week, probably. But, so, we've got new reworks to how weapon crews work, which is actually pretty sweet because basically nobody ever took them ever, for any reason, under any circumstance, forever.
Well, there were probably a couple of exceptions.
There was a list I brought with E-Hexorus that was just basically bringing the Venator flare cannon crews, giving them snipe, putting... black spot on something and just like, kill everything. And it worked out fairly well until I was like, I'm just going to roll D3 and get 1 on both shots. It's like, well, this was a shitty waste. Well,
exactly. So they are no longer a specific type of unit. They're just effectively like a dude guy, but with some special rules. They can now move, fire, charge, and just like any other model. Although, I mean, your average speed's like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
so
you probably don't want to do that.
They work a lot like the Legion pot. What the hell do they call it? Spawning vessel.
Yeah. Where
the dudes around them can carry it or move it a little bit faster.
Sort of. The weapon crew actually has a speed value, and it just increases to its movement or speed for dudes being nearby.
Yeah.
It's not like where the pot has to be physically pushed.
Well, okay. Well, that's true. I mean, the pot is stationary if there's no more guys around it. But actually, well, I guess what they specify by saying the rangefinder ability is gone. Now, extra models help move the light artillery piece around 1 inch per grunt within 2 inches of the unit at the start of the advance. So that works basically the same with the exception that it's not stationary otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just the artillery piece, you've got the wood and the metal, it can go by itself. It's fine.
Well, no, the last model to be removed is actually still a dude operating the artillery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just you've got the extra grunts there in case that dude gets offed.
Another thing is that the gunners can now take up, very similar to how standard bearers work.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I mean, you're like, I killed the guy, and then just the other guy's like, I don't know how to work the gun. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that all is pretty sweet. They actually specify how the Signar Trencher chain gun, some of the changes to that. So it lost strafe, and actually in the Insider that they mentioned this stuff, they say that they've done away with strafe. Now, I don't know if they mean that they've just got rid of the strafe rule entirely, like it's on nothing now, which would make sense because of the way that the rate of fire system's now working.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it functionally has the same rate of fire as strafe.
Yeah, so
it's just...
Well, now it says that it gained D3 plus 1 rate of fire, which is it's different in the wording, but effectively it's the same deal.
Because the main change is that you can choose whatever targets you feel like instead of, like, primary target and any number of targets within 2 inches of the primary target.
Yeah, because there used to be, like, strafe and rapid fire, and I think there was one other one that was, like, one of them was D3, one of them was D3 plus 1 with another extra rule on top, and it was, like... They're trying to simplify it. That's complex that isn't really needed. Like, that doesn't really add anything to the game.
Well, exactly. It's just nonsense.
Especially now that they just got rate of fire. That's how many attacks you make.
Go nuts. Exactly.
Yeah.
How many initial attacks you make.
Yeah, how many initial attacks.
Yeah. So the trencher cannon chain gunners have an ammo feeder special action which boosts the gunner's range attack damage rolls against warrior models. So
I like that.
That's ranged attack damage rolls?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Specifically against warrior models.
Well, yeah.
So it starts off at POW 10, but then you can use that special action to feed it more ammo and murderalize people better.
Yeah. I mean, it's a chain gun. That's like...
That would make... Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Supposed to do.
Like,
suppressing fire!
Additionally, so the way that it... They don't explicitly say, and we don't get to see the card, so it's a little hard to say, but I believe that they have trenchers... trencher dude guys manning the gun, and they say that trenchers are now +1 rat They still have dig in, covering fire, and advanced deployment. This applies to the weapon platform as well.
I think that probably applies to just the weapon platform for the covering fire. Because we've seen trencher infantry and they don't have it.
Okay, well, I think it's trencher chain gunners and potentially trencher chain gun specifically. So that's interesting.
Suppressing fire.
Well, fair enough. I like that. I like that it has advanced deploy because I mean, when you've got this like slow speed, ridiculous movement thing, it's really incentivizes you for setting up like a defense.
Yeah,
I mean, like a defendable area.
The different pieces of like artillery, different weapon crews have different ways around that. Like some of them are just really long range, so they don't give a shit about being behind everything. But the chain gun crew it's there to go up in front and mow down infantry or lay down suppressing fire.
Well, and the really cool thing is that it comes in at 5 points in the new point system. So
2.5
roughly ish, yeah. So super cheap for what you're getting. Like D3+1 shots. Doesn't actually say the range on this particular gun, but
it's probably 10 or 12.
Most of them are like 14, 16. Like
I know, but most of them also aren't chain guns.
Yeah, that's
advanced
fair.
deploy.
So for 5 points, I mean, picking up a couple of them, why not? They're not that expensive. Like, and they seem like you're going to get some decent value out of it. Also, they mentioned that your gunners, like, they're not just sitting around dicking about. They can also shoot their guns as well. So, like, there's reasons to actually take the unit. And I mean, I wonder how many chain gunners you get. Like, is it
probably one or two?
Maybe, yeah. Like, what do the blisters and stuff come with currently?
It's usually leader and 2 grunts. Sometimes it's leader and 1 grunt.
Yeah. Okay, so
depends on the crew, I think.
Okay, I mean, but still, I mean, you're gonna get. So, I mean, from the unit, you could potentially pop out what, like 4, 5, 6, 7 shots, maybe.
Well, I mean,
if you include the gunners as well for 5 points.
If you roll 5 or 6, you get 4 shots from the gun, and then if you shoot both of the other dude's guns instead of using ammo feeder, which is a special action.
It says a special action, yeah.
Yeah, if you shoot both of their guns, then you get like 6 shots probably.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair.
They probably just have pistols or like rifles.
Yeah, probably nothing too exciting. But I mean, sometimes you might want to do that, right? I mean, and ultimately, I'm just thinking like from a points per shots kind of standpoint.
That's pretty sweet.
That's really sweet. So that's not too bad on the Signar one. They don't specify anything else. That's basically it on those guys. The Winter Guard field gun is now range 14, up from whatever the hell it was before.
It's probably like 12 or something before.
Went up to PAL 15, and it causes knockdown.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Field gun, fuck you.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. I don't remember the model, but I'm pretty sure it's like a mortar. It would be
no. There's a mortar and a field gun. The field gun is basically just like a big ass fucking cannon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the field gun is like this huge like.
It's a giant rifle.
It's like an auto cannon. It's just like firing big huge big
awesome.
shells.
And it used to have like critical knockdown, which is nice if it ever happens. But now that it just knocks shit down, it's great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So that's pretty sweet. The Retribution's heavy rifle team is now increased to POW 8.
Yes.
I don't know why that's significant. Like, it's like, this is what we needed to do, so now it's better.
Yeah, right now it's like POW 6 armor piercing or POW 7 armor piercing.
So now it's a POW 8 armor piercing.
So that actually gives it +2 POW, and they changed armor piercing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So armor piercing just does the half armor no matter what your size is.
Yeah, no longer just gives you +2 to attack rolls against small damage rolls against small base models.
So like even against like armor 20, you're still like -2 on the die.
Yeah.
From that kind
It's also really strange. Like if it's a small base dude in fucking gigantic armor piercing doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
so now
it mattered.
Yeah.
But yes.
But now it's like now it makes more sense this way.
Yeah.
Well, I get what they were trying to do in that like bigger things would be the things with the armor you're penetrating, but.
That seems really fantastic. And then the thing is, they also say that it's only 4 points.
Yeah, it's cheap, it's long range, it's good. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it was already borderline worth taking in some cases, but, like, now it's even better.
Apparently it was like POW 6 before.
POW 6 or 7, I don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number, but it's up to 8, which is pretty good.
The Trollblood Thumper lost some of its range. Now it's down to range 12.
I've never heard of that model before.
But now it's POW 16 with momentum.
That's pretty cool.
Just slamming.
So... I mean, like, so far I like the themes of them, where it's like they feel
these
impactful.
are big,
yeah, exactly,
big guns.
Yes.
And the thing is, before now, they never really felt that way. Like I remember looking over the Legion one, and being like, nope, not buying that. A Scather, a 3-inch area that nobody will walk into because
why would you?
But I mean, that's actually a good thing. Like
but the thing is, like you take Ravagors, and
I know, but Ravagors are like 15 times as many points.
They're like 15 or 20 times cooler.
That's true.
So,
But you pay for that in points, motherfucker.
So
Like, if you really need to stay there and don't have points for Ravagore somehow, A, there's something wrong with you. You're playing Legion wrong. And B, then you may as well go for
You're
it.
playing Mark II Legion wrong.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
Well,
no, that's
we don't
true.
have Mark 3 yet, so
Yeah, Ravagore's gonna be like 30 points.
I'd be okay with that.
I hate you so much.
That's because you play Legion and I don't.
Realistically, probably more like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
but-
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the Scorn Catapult crew gained some POW. It didn't specify how much, and it also gained Venator's Burst Fire rule.
Yeah. So this is a case we were talking just before the episode where the rule name makes no sense. A catapult is gonna like triple burst a shot off or something. That's silly. The name makes sense when it was only applied to the Venator Reaver cannons, like the cheese grater guns.
See, the thing is, like,
So hold on, let's rewind a second. I don't know what that.
Oh,
rule
burst
means.
fire is +1 damage against medium bases, +2 damage against large bases.
large or bigger.
Large or bigger, because it would be cool if it was like +3 against huge bases, but it's not. Whatever.
Do you know what the POW of the Catapult crew was? Roughly?
I think it was 15, but I might be wrong. It's going up to 15.
I think it's up to 18 now, actually.
Yeah.
Because like it said, it gains some POW, but
Don't you have the cards? Like,
that one wasn't revealed as
it still wouldn't tell us what it gains up to, right?
yeah, it would. They showed the cards for the catapult.
Oh, did they really?
Yes.
Oh, so they did. All right then.
What's the POW now?
Now it's POW 16.
Okay, so I think it was,
So effective POW 18 with the burst fire.
yeah, against large bases.
So it might have been POW 14 before, is my guess, because some sounds like more than one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually, well, let's just take a look at the card here.
I'm just gonna like backtrack a little bit and explain that burst fire thing. Like,
Sure.
burst fire is the name that they've given firing like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Not like firing in bursts of multiple shots, but firing a burst of shot.
Okay, that makes sense.
So the reason I feel like it's a misnomer is like it sounds like you're shooting multiple things, and the reason it still makes sense if you ignore the name on the catapult is like they fire a thing in the air, which then explodes and rains down.
That makes perfect sense.
Fragmentation, like debris and shit. So
So from the two examples that we actually have, we have the Horgenhold Artillery Corps and the Venator Catapult Crew, apparently. One thing jumps out at me. First off, they both have the man-size special rule, so
I assume all of them will.
That was a cool rule, but having like dudes with a gun have to be a large base, but they're also somehow taller than everything else.
Yeah.
Seemed a little weird.
yeah. So now it says they occupy the space from the bottom of the base to a height of 1.75 inches.
So the same standard height as a small base.
It's treated as a small base model.
Yep.
So, and they both have the mobile artillery rule. So
All of
again,
them will.
probably all of them, and probably all of them have take up as well.
They mentioned that they should all take up.
Yeah, so that would be what I would expect.
Yeah.
So mobile artillery says that when this model advances part of its normal movement, it gains a +1 movement for other dudes within 2 inches.
Yeah.
You know, other dudes probably not actually on the card, but pretty close.
So like I mean, it's like the catapult speed 2,
Speed 2, yes.
so it can run 6 effectively.
Yeah. Run faster, catapult.
Just look,
Get the junk out the trunk.
Does the catapult have the gunner on the catapult have a melee weapon?
He does.
Did you actually say they can charge? Because that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense if
They
they can
can.
charge. Okay, so what's the movement increase on the light artillery rule again?
When it advances part of a normal movement.
Okay, so you still
So it
only charge
it
5.
charges 5.
Okay.
You cheesy motherfucker.
Hey, I'm just saying, like,
You're scorned. Feel the burn.
Yeah. So it has arcing fire. Not all. I believe that
No,
they don't
not
all
all
have them.
artillery.
Although both of the examples they have
Yeah.
here do.
yeah, because they're
All of
both
the mortar and the catapults and stuff do.
everything that feels like it should shoot over things should probably shoot over things.
Yes. I also like how it's minimum range 8 inches because it's a catapult. I love it.
Yeah.
It is in the Venator Catapult Crew is inaccurate because it's a catapult. So it gets -4 to attack rolls with this weapon.
What's their rat?
5. So
So if
You're
you
rat
aim,
1.
you're rat 3.
Yes.
Because you can benefit from the aiming bonus.
you can.
Yep.
And its minimum range is 8 inches. So
Yep.
you can't shoot at something closer than 8 inches.
I mean, you're going to want to shoot this at heavies anyway a lot of the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Or not care because it's an AoE.
I think the range is still 20.
Range 18.
Oh, range is 18.
Yeah.
I think the range went down.
But
Oh,
you
no,
can-
it was already 18.
But now you can move and shoot.
yeah. The thing is, we used to be able to
you
far
can
strike
move
it.
4 and shoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You used to be able to far strike it to get up to 22, which made it longer range than the mortar, which because they didn't have access to any.
So Gunner and 2 grunts, you can walk at 5.
I'm pretty sure it's each other model in the unit, isn't it?
Each grunt. Okay, yeah, 2. Sorry.
grunt.
So yeah, you can
Jeez,
walk at
Steve.
4 and shoot 18.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
The other thing that's interesting is like because of burst fire, if you're shooting against even medium bases, like anything that the pie plate lands on is effectively a pound 9.
Yeah.
No, is it half? It's half plus.
Half plus the burst fire bonus.
Yeah, it's half and then bonuses. Well, that might change, but I don't see why it would. Like they haven't revealed whether or not that's the same in Mark 3. I don't see why that would change.
So you're like POW 8 blast damage. I mean, the thing is though, is like POW 9 on medium base infantry is not great
unless it's like single wound trolls.
Yeah,
like fen blades or like warriors.
So, well, although was it AoE 4 before as well?
I believe it was one of them was AoE 5, and I think it was the catapult was AoE 5. I might be totally wrong about that. I never actually used it.
Okay. So so it's field allowance 2 coming in at 5 points. What do you think about this unit for Scorn?
I think it's pretty good. It's really good at clearing out light infantry, which it was before, but we had better options before. So I think this is like our best really long range kill light infantry option of all the stuff that I've seen on Scorn so far.
I mean, it's just incredibly cheap is the thing.
Yeah.
It's like you can take a couple of them and you're still not even, you're like half of what a War Beast costs. So
we can't far strike it anymore, so no snipe. Oh well. The arcing fire is pretty cool. The minimum range kind of sucks. Like you need to move it back later, but now that you can move and shoot, that's not as big a problem.
Is this something that you think that you might end up taking into your Scorn?
I'll definitely give it a look. Because I did buy the flare cannon. Even though it's not great, I still liked it in some lists. And even when I wasn't playing competitively, I'd totally bring it just for the fun.
Okay.
This, I think, at the very least, is at that level. I will totally bring it just for the shiggles.
Fair enough.
See, I think you guys are underestimating the POW 18s to the face of large bases.
I think it's really, really good.
I mean, if you can direct hit like a large base, that's hilarious.
Large base models have low defense. KOR jacks are defense 10. You hit on average dice if you aim.
So you have a slightly better than 50-50 chance.
Like POW 18
the 18-inch range is really good. And now that it can move and shoot, and it has a few other little extra bits, I definitely would take it.
The one thing I do like about it is that, so like if you position in a reasonable way, you should be able to cover like an objective or a zone pretty easily.
Yeah.
And it's going to be far enough back that nobody's going to bother with it.
Other than enemy artillery crews.
Yeah. But one of the other things that sort of restricts determines whether or not I'll take it is how good the Archidon is. The Archidon's going to be way more expensive, of course. But if the Archidon can be like, I just fly over everything and kill the heavy, why would I do catapult?
So the thing is, like, you can clear out the zone.
So in that case, so if the Archidon is so much better at killing heavies from a distance that I would never ever bother taking this, then I'll never ever bother taking this. I don't think that'll be the case, but it really depends. That's the one thing I'm looking at.
I have
competes with this.
I have a very long tangent that is tied to what you just said.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
So I think that in general, they're going to take the power out of a lot of things. And by power, I mean like specifically like POW of the attacks.
Okay.
All of the heavy like War Beasts and Warjacks we've seen so far, other than like the Gargantuans, are like PS 16 at most.
No, we saw POW 17.
On what? Was it Hypnos? It was
Hypnos, I think.
Yeah, okay. So that's a character jack against POW 17, right?
Yeah, Proteus was POW 16.
So I'm not saying that there won't be any higher POW, but what I'm seeing and what I get a feel for is like they want to make it less trivial to blow shit up.
Yeah.
Like especially Warjacks and War Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of the reason that a lot of people didn't play them, not just because the infantry was more efficient or more powerful, whatever, because it was so easy to kill this 1 point investment with your swarm of infantry. It didn't matter. So I feel like it's probably going to be, you're going to have less 1-round kills unless you commit like multiple factors to doing it. So like I feel like infantry is going to be more of a tool to control space and clear enemy infantry.
Yeah.
Whereas your heavy hitters are going to be more spread out.
Well, and that brings up an interesting point because with the catapult crew, like let's say for argument's sake that infantry really is meant to clear out other infantry. If you have a couple of catapult crews, you can deal with their infantry before your infantry there. Now you have something to jam them up with, and it's freed up that points investment.
And like I think the catapult is a really good example of an artillery piece that's multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Like it does deal well with light infantry if they don't have something like force barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And it does deal well with actually putting damage on like heavies.
Yeah.
So it fits both of those. It deals with infantry and it also starts denting the heavies so that you can finish them off, right?
I like how they're differentiated in terms of between different armies, the weapon platforms are very different.
Yes.
So, for example, the Pharaoh Razorback crew is the hit and run master of light artillery, is what they say. So they gain brutal damage, reposition 3 inches.
That's really cool.
And their range and POW is 14, with an additional die if they directly hit. The Rat 4, they move 4 inches. So the idea with them is they can move 4 inches, shoot, potentially hit something with brutal damage, and get the aiming bonus.
Oh, they don't get the aiming bonus if they move first.
Okay, so sorry.
You can aim and then shoot something and then move.
So you can move 4 inches, shoot 14 inches, then reposition another 3 inches either back or forward if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, based on the information they've given us, completely different than way that you'd engage with it than anybody else.
And if they retain dig in, that's pretty cool. Because then, like, you move dig in, you don't want to reposition because then you lose your dig in bonus.
They actually, I think they did mention that they do keep dig in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that. Like, that's a really cool like interaction. Like, do I want to move dig in or move reposition or what?
And if you're
not shooting anyway.
If we look at the Horgenhold Artillery Corps, there's 6 points, so they're on the kind of upper end of what these things cost. They get their siege cannon gains arcing fire and brutal damage. So on a direct hit,
what's a POW on that?
It is POW 14, but they do not suffer inaccurate.
Right.
So the Rat 5, if you can get into position, you forfeit the movement for aiming bonus. You're then hitting Rat 7?
That's pretty sweet.
With POW 14, 16-inch range gun with brutal damage.
Damn.
Like, that's enough to deal with whatever you pointed at.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-inch AoE too, so it's not like...
Well, the brutal damage only applies to the model you directly hit.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay,
So
fair.
you still only get POW 7s in the AoE.
That's okay, fair enough.
Still not bad.
No, it's not bad.
But like I like what they've done with these because they've taken units that have historically been kind of nobody really cares about them, nobody really wants to take them, and put them into a place where now we actually get to reevaluate them and see if they fit in our list, and we don't really know how it's going to shake up. Like we don't know if they are going to be super worth or not.
Come check out the Connection Games and Comics. We have the largest selection of War Machine and Hordes miniatures in the Lower Mainland. War Machine Wednesdays and Sundays, with tables and terrain to play your game.